In a small town surrounded by rolling hills, there was a boy named Ethan and a girl named Lily. They met during their high school years, sharing classes, laughter, and dreams. They bonded over their love for books and long conversations at the town's quaint little cafe. Slowly, their friendship blossomed into something deeper, and before they knew it, they were inseparable. Ethan and Lily spent countless hours together, exploring the town, dreaming about their futures, and making promises of forever. They carved their initials into an old oak tree near the town's river, promising that no matter what happened, they would always find their way back to each other. But as high school came to an end, reality set in. Ethan received an opportunity to attend a prestigious college far away, while Lily had obligations at home that kept her from leaving. They struggled to maintain their relationship at a distance, but slowly the phone calls became less frequent and the messages shorter. Eventually, they both decided, with heavy hearts, to part ways and focus on their separate paths. Years passed. Ethan graduated and settled in a bustling city where he built a successful career, while Lily stayed in the small town, dedicating herself to her family and opening a bookstore, something they had always dreamed about together. Though they moved on, they never really forgot each other. Ethan often found himself wandering through bookstores, looking for that one book they used to talk about, while Lily would walk by the old oak tree, tracing their carved initials with her fingers. One day, nearly a decade later, Ethan was visiting his hometown for a family gathering. Curious about how much had changed, he decided to take a walk down memory lane. As he wandered past familiar places, his feet carried him toward the bookstore at the edge of town. He stepped inside, overwhelmed by a flood of memories as the scent of books and coffee filled the air. And there she was. Lily stood behind the counter, her hair tied back in a messy bun, a book in her hands. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Their eyes met, and the years that had separated them seemed to vanish. Lily's heart skipped a beat as she recognized him immediately. The boy she had loved and lost was standing right in front of her. "Ethan," she whispered, almost afraid he would disappear like a dream. "Lily," he replied, his voice softer than he intended. "It's been a long time." They spent hours catching up, as if no time had passed at all. Ethan told her about the cities he had lived in, the people he had met, and the life he had built. Lily shared stories of the bookstore, her family, and the quiet beauty of the small town. As they talked, the old feelings they had once shared slowly resurfaced, weaving their way back into the spaces between their words. Later that evening, they found themselves walking toward the river, where the old oak tree still stood, its bark now worn with age. They stopped in front of the carved initials, faded but still visible. Ethan reached out and touched them, a bittersweet smile on his lips. "It feels like a lifetime ago," he said, looking at Lily. She nodded. But some things never really change, do they? In that moment, they realized that while life had taken them on different journeys, it had brought them back to each other. It wasn't about picking up where they had left off, but about rediscovering who they had become and finding a new path together. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Ethan took Lily's hand, and they walked away from the river, not knowing where the road would take them, but ready to face it together, this time with a love that had withstood the test of time.